The man nobody saw, Michael Carter, had been invisible for 15 years. Every night at 7 o'clock, he'd arrive at Horizon Tech Industries with his cleaning cart. 59 years old, weathered hands, pressed uniform. The same routine he'd followed since his wife passed and left him with a 3-year-old daughter to raise alone. His daughter, Rachel, was 18 now, heading to college in the fall, pre-med. Michael's chest swelled with pride every time he thought about it. Everything he'd done, the double shifts, the sacrificed sleep, the years of being invisible, it was all for her. Most people at Horizon Tech didn't know his name. He was just the night janitor, the man who emptied the trash cans and mopped the floors. He didn't mind being invisible. Invisible people see things, hear things. On a Tuesday night in November, Michael heard something that made him pause, the executive conference room on the top floor. Every light blazing at 9 p.m., voices raised in desperation. The CEO, Patricia Hamilton, was there with her entire leadership team. Michael had seen her in the halls for 15 years, but she'd never once looked at him. As he cleaned nearby, fragments reached his ears. "We're finished. The system crashes every single time we hit peak load. We've lost Data Corp. We've lost Streamline. That's $140 million in contracts, gone. The board meets Friday. They're going to shut us down." Michael kept working, but he listened. Their cloud infrastructure system, the one they'd built their entire company on, collapsed under pressure. They'd hired the best consultants in the country. Spent 18 months trying to fix it. Nothing worked. Wednesday night, they were still there. Patricia sat with her head in her hands. Papers everywhere. Cold coffee cups scattered across the table. The weight of 800 employees and their families resting on her shoulders. Michael recognized that look. He'd worn it himself once, sitting in a hospital waiting room while 3-year-old Rachel fought pneumonia and the bills piled up, and he wondered how he'd survive. Thursday night, Michael arrived to find Patricia alone in that conference room. Just her and a whiteboard covered in technical diagrams that made no sense to her. She looked broken, defeated. Michael stood in the doorway for a long moment. Then he knocked softly. "Ma'am," he said. "I'm sorry to bother you." Patricia looked up. Her eyes were red. She stared at him blankly, not recognizing the man who'd cleaned her office 5 nights a week for 15 years. "I've been hearing about your troubles," Michael said quietly. "I know I shouldn't have been listening, but—" "It doesn't matter," Patricia said, her voice hollow. "We're done anyway." "My daughter Rachel," Michael continued, "she's good with computers. Taught herself programming. Last year she did an internship at a startup." Patricia said nothing, just stared. They had a system that kept crashing under high traffic. Brought in experts. Spent months trying to fix it. Michael paused. Then Rachel asked her supervisor one question. "Are you checking if the auto-scaling is actually spinning up new servers or just trying to?" The words hung in the air. Turned out their cloud provider settings were wrong. The system was trying to scale up when traffic increased, but the actual server deployment was failing silently. The monitoring showed it was working, but no new capacity was actually coming online. They fixed the deployment settings and the crashes stopped immediately. Patricia stood up slowly. "Say that again," Michael repeated it. Patricia grabbed her phone with shaking hands. 15 minutes later, the technical team was back. Michael explained what Rachel had discovered. The director of infrastructure pulled up their cloud configuration. His face went white. "The auto-scaling is set to request new instances, but the deployment template has an error. The instances are failing to launch. We've been running on the same fixed capacity for 18 months, just trying to restart it over and over." Silence filled the room. "How long to fix it?" Patricia's voice was barely a whisper. "If this is really it, I can correct the template in 5 minutes. We can test it in an hour." It was really it. The problem that had cost them $140 million. That had brought an entire company to the edge of bankruptcy. That 18 months of expert consultants couldn't solve. Michael Carter had identified it in less than 2 minutes. Patricia walked slowly to where Michael stood by his cleaning cart. Tears ran down her face. "What's your name?" she asked. "Michael Carter." "How long have you worked here, Michael?" 15 years last month." Patricia covered her mouth with her hand. When she spoke again, her voice cracked. 15 years. "And I don't know your name. I've walked past you thousands of times. You've cleaned my office, probably heard my phone calls, seen my life, and I never saw you once. It's okay, Michael said gently. I'm just glad I could help. No, Patricia said. It's not okay. You just saved this company. You saved 800 families from losing everything, and I didn't even know your name. What happened next shocked everyone at Horizon Tech Industries, and then the world. Friday morning, Patricia canceled the board meeting. Instead, she called an all-hands company meeting. Every employee, every department gathered in the main hall. Patricia stood on stage with Michael beside her. She told the entire story. The crisis, the near bankruptcy, and how the night janitor, the man they'd all walked past for 15 years, had saved them all. Then she made an announcement that left the room in stunned silence. Effective immediately. Michael Carter is promoted to Director of Operational Awareness, reporting directly to me. His salary is $500,000. He'll also receive a $2 million bonus for saving this company and stock options that vest immediately. The room erupted. But Patricia wasn't finished. More than that, we're creating the Carter Protocol. Every single person who works at Horizon Tech, custodial, cafeteria, security, mailroom, everyone, will have monthly meetings with executive leadership. Because if we'd been listening to Michael all along, we might have avoided this crisis entirely. The story went viral within hours. National media, international coverage, the janitor who saved a company, the CEO who learned to see. But Michael didn't want fame. He negotiated quietly with Patricia. He'd accept the bonus for Rachel's college fund, but he wanted to keep his evening shift, his cleaning cart, his routine. I like the work, he told her. It's honest, and I'm good at it. They compromised. Michael became an advisor working with every department, but he still pushed his cart through those halls each evening, because that's when people spoke freely, when they forgot to hide problems. When truth emerged in the quiet, what changed was everything else. People learned his name, said hello, asked about Rachel, treated him like the valuable human being he'd always been. Patricia made it her practice to walk with Michael during his shift twice a week. She learned about his years as a single father, the struggles, the pride, the love that got him through. You taught me something I should have learned decades ago, Patricia told him one evening. That wisdom doesn't wear a suit. That the most important voices are often the quietest ones. That being a good leader means learning to really see people. When Rachel graduated high school that spring, she gave the valedictorian speech. Michael sat in the front row, tears streaming down his face. Patricia sat beside him. She'd asked to come. My father taught me that every person matters, Rachel said to the crowd. That paying attention is a form of love. That the janitor and the CEO are equally valuable human beings. He taught me this not with words, but by living it every single day. The audience rose in a standing ovation. Not just for Rachel, for Michael, for the quiet dignity of a man who'd spent 15 years being invisible, but had never stopped seeing others. Horizon Tech thrived. The story of Michael Carter became legendary in business schools. But the real legacy was simpler and deeper. One man, invisible for 15 years, reminded an entire company that wisdom can come from anywhere. That everyone deserves to be seen. That sometimes the person pushing the cleaning cart knows more than the person in the corner office. Every evening at 7 o'clock, Michael Carter still arrives at Horizon Tech Industries. He still pushes his cart through those halls. But now everyone knows his name. Everyone says hello. Everyone remembers. Some problems need experts. Some need time. And some just need someone who's been paying attention all along. Michael Carter was always paying attention. The world just needed to learn to see him.